Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video, another commentary. Yeah, all I gotta say is, man, I don't spend money on females, point blank period. Only, the only money I spend is on females in my family, back home in Africa, or the females who I am doing business with abroad, but other than that, I don't spend money on females. I don't spend money on Western females, and you shouldn't either, because of the simple fact that, at the end of the day, these females have gotten to a point where they'll let a guy who doesn't have a pot to piss in blow their back out, but a guy who's actually doing something, or a guy who's like just trying to get things together, they'll make him pay, you know. And of course, they're going to make the simp beta pay as well. Because don't let it fool you. Not every guy who like wants to be in a committed relationship, they're not all simps and betas, okay? Some of them are just trying to continue their legacy. They're just trying to cement what they want to cement, okay? Not all of them are simps and betas. The ones who are simps and betas are the ones who bend over backwards, who let women get away with everything while still being with that woman. The one who are simps or and betas are the ones who say we should care for our single mothers and things like that. They're the ones who call the women goddesses. They're the ones who call the women's queen. But the ones who are just looking for commitment, looking for stability, and they're not going to put up with a woman's stuff, then yeah, nah, that's just regular man, But let's look at this short clip, okay? Go ahead and look at it.
You have to pay. You cannot hang out with me for free. Serious.
So what she means by that is that just being in her presence is going to cost you some money. When she says you have to pay, like basically she looks at herself as like a eye candy. She looks at herself as, like that a guy should be thankful, that she's allowing her, no, or allowing him to be seen with her. Like that's how she's looking at the situation. She's not looking at the situation as like even a date anymore. Here's another thing too that you have to understand. The modern woman doesn't look at dating as dating. The modern woman looks at dating as a business transaction, okay? It's like, okay, well, I'll go out with this guy, I'm not really attracted to him, but he's taking me to a certain place. He's feeding me. I can stand to be with him a little bit long. Then what happens is she ghosts him and she just moves on to the other guy, Maybe, just maybe, she'll give him some pity sex, but most of the time, more often than not. Let's continue.
Question: would you let a guy take you to a chain restaurant, like to Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Applebee's, on the first date?
The real question for you is, will you stop eating? Because like this is the type of female that if you didn't know better, she would catfish your ass. Because you can tell already that she's like a size 8 or something like that. And she talking about like dining preferences when she really needs to be exercising and doing things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to say it, but if a nigga's in shape and if a nigga's on the square, isn't that nigga entitled to a woman who's like that too? So this is what I don't get. I really don't get these things. So she's already complaining about a guy taking her out to a chain restaurant on the first date when in general food is expensive, period. Chain restaurant or no chain restaurant. I wonder if these females ever think before they talk, because I can pull a child from a third world country, or I can pull even a girl from a third world country, and I can take her to Wingstop, and she would be forever grateful for me because she knows that where she comes from, food is scarce. Do you know how happy they would be? Do you know how happy third world women would be at the little things?
Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, I will just never reply back to you because what? Why would you take me there? I'm never going on a date ever.
I mean, she's not even that cute to be asking for that. So here's the type of female who will want the Ruth Chris. Believe it or not, I'll tell y'all a story. I was actually handling some business in Santa Monica. You know, all of a sudden I overheard a female, and she said that she would not go out with a male if they didn't do anything less than the Ruth Chris. And the crazy thing about that is she was looking at me the whole time, and I just glanced and looked away and nodded my head, because it's like, what makes you think you're entitled to the Ruth Chris? You know, when I myself don't even go to a Ruth Chris unless I'm like meeting a client there or something like that. Like I don't even go to Ruth Chris. But let's move on.
Again, listen what happened to me. So I went on a date with this boy. He's 6'8", right? I don't even care at this point.
So she mentions the height because that's what she wants. Like she wants they want all of it, you know. Over 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack, all of the stuff, all of the like thereof, you know. Meanwhile, her breasts are sagging down to her kneecaps.
Go out to dinner, and this lady comes around with roses, like selling roses, and I was like, oh my god, like she's gonna come up to our table and he's gonna buy me a rose, bitch. She comes up and she was like, do you want to buy a rose for the miss? And he was like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, that's the way you should do it. Like, don't buy these women anything. As a matter of fact, what I notice now is that when you buy women things, it's like a prerequisite. And so that's what they do now. They leave that as like a prerequisite to you. Like if you buy something for a woman, it's no longer looked as a nice gesture. It's basically,
I looked at him and I was like, so you're...
It's basically looked at as a like a requirement. It's no longer looked at as like a kind gesture, you being kind or something like that. Now buying something for a Western woman is like the bare minimum. You know, that's the whole thing about it. So just don't buy anything for them. You know, starve them out.
Not gonna buy me a rose? And he was like, oh, I don't have cash on me. Sorry, love.
So, tell you another story. I was staying when I was staying in Cuba, like, I was, you know, the family I was staying with was just trying to give me game, you know, because they really were encouraging me to marry a Cuban woman, or like at least get to a point where I'm like good. Because what happens is a lot of the African students who go to Cuba, they get married to Cuban women, like, and it's no problem because it's just like blacks marrying blacks, you know what I mean? And so they told me, yeah, you should give them flowers or something like that. And so, but it actually works over there, because they're still traditional women for the most part. That gesture actually works over there. You can't do it here because of the simple fact it's not going to be looked at as giving flowers to a woman here is a sign of weakness. You know, unfortunately, that's just how it goes.
The bill comes, and he fucking pays the bill with cash.
That's good. How these females finesse us most of the time, finesse them. Don't have any sympathy. Finesse them, mess with them, play with their heads. Because, as I said, I didn't want to be a part of the gender war, but I had to basically go front line with the gender war since it started affecting fellow Africans. If it didn't affect fellow Africans and didn't affect Caribbeans, then maybe I would let it play itself out. However, when it started affecting those closest to kin to me, that's when I had to get involved. So so this is why I'm involved, because one of the tricks of the Western woman is they will basically I want to say entertain a dude from another place so much only to take advantage of him, because they feel that he doesn't know any better, and because he comes from a different culture. So they think that, oh, he's foreign, he doesn't know any better, I'm going to take advantage of him, not knowing that for the most part, the real African man is going to put his foot down and say that this isn't going to fly. And the same with the Caribbean man as well. However, because of the way the rules have been set up here, we have to finesse our way around doing things that maybe we would do, under normal circumstances. Like, for example, one woman, talked about, she said, I remember she said, I'm gonna get my whatchamacallit on you. I'm gonna get my brother on you. I'm gonna da. And so I punched a hole in the wall, and I'm like, you still want to do that? And so what happened was she ended up calling the police. Granted, I wasn't gonna hit her, but it's just, that's how an African man is gonna show that he's not afraid of anything. He's gonna demonstrate it, And, we're not, for the most part, African men, we don't really hit women. That's not really our MO in our culture. But what I want to say is, that that's why I had to get involved in the gender war. Is because it started to affect people around me who were close. So that's why I had to start doing this work. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm just giving you a little backdrop of why I drop these videos, why I drop these commentaries, to show the delusion and the wickedness of the Western woman. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, I'm going to fight fire with fire, and maybe even fight fire with more fire, with heavier fire. Because once you starve their pockets, once you starve them of validation and starve them of attention, hopefully, but I doubt it, but maybe there's a small chance that they'll see the errors in their ways and see that what they're doing is not working in their favor, but against them. But anyhow, Foolish signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Njara.